Let's start. Good morning, evening, afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are on the globe. Thanks for joining us today. With Tim Tamrawi, CEO of Sharktech, we would be speaking about the next cloud revolution, how Sharktech did build a superb alternative to hyperscalers, combining cloud management plus a robust virtualization solution. We will be making today an introduction about both companies, about Virtuozzo and Sharktech. Then we will be having a small talk with Tim about his company, how did he build his solution, how easy is it to migrate from any solution to Sharktech's cloud, the capacity planning and predictable TCO he can promise to MSPs that want to resell his cloud, or enterprises, SMBs who want to use his cloud, and then how reliable is it? And then we would be going to a live demo where Tim will be showing us the beauty of the solution he built, and then Q&A. But let's make it a conversation, not like a pitch. So you can raise questions anytime in the Q&A tab, and we would be answering your questions on the spot. A bit of words about Virtuozzo. We are a Swiss company headquartered in Switzerland, operating all over the world since 24 years, working mostly with alternative cloud providers or service providers who want to package and provide infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or anything as a service to their end users or partners. So we have a complete software stack to enable this. With Broadcom acquisition, we see many of the VMware partners wanting to replace their VMware with us, or as well any open source solution that is available in the market, where we want to have like a solution that is based on open standard but supported by a support team in a commercial way. And we bring to the MSPs and CSPs out there in the market the fastest time to market. And our main goal is to make every one of our partners being profitable. So profitable is the essence of anything we do. And how we do achieve profitability is by focusing on our 5 silos. So it's efficiency, reliability, performance, security, and versatility. So any one of our softwares, any solution that Virtuozzo is having is making sure that we are enabling profitability of our partners by enabling our 5 vectors into this. Some of examples of alternative service providers we work with. We are enabling 680 service providers all over the world. We have some examples here all over the world, some in Africa, some in New Zealand, Sharktech, of course, in the US, Ionos in Germany. So we know how to help partners as well to build clouds depending on the governance per continent or per country. So this as well, like we are fully GDPR compliant for the European market. We are 100% software, so we don't have any reliability on anything outside of our partner's data center. That makes data sovereignty fully respected in any country, in any case. Now there are as well some end users of our partners, or some customers who chose to use, like end users chose to use as well to build their private cloud on top of our solution. Most known of them is Acronis, so the backup company. They decided to build their Acronis cloud on top of our solution, and as well Tata Motors in India, where they are doing all their R&D on top of Virtuozzo solutions. So this is a bit about Virtuozzo. I would pass it now to Tim, who will be explaining who is Sharktech, what does Sharktech do, and all the beauty stuff they do.
Thank you, Ahmed. So hi, my name is Tim Tamrawi. I've been in the hosting industry since the late 90s. Sharktech was established in 2003. Our main focus was bare metal hosting services, with a primary focus on DDoS protection as a service. We were the pioneer providing DDoS protection as a service back in 2003, before DDoS protection services became more mainstream. Since then, we've been involved in the market, looking and improving our system resources and the services that we kind of provide, the suite of services that we provide. And about 7 years ago, we started our pursuit to provide the cloud services that can compete with the big tech cloud solutions. The list you have here on the screen provides you a sample of the types of services that we provide right now, and we will be going more in details about the rest of that.
Great, thank you, Tim. Now a few questions before we start, just to put the right expectations to our audience as well, and to speak about why, and how, and everything you did. So I understand from you that you've built your solution, your cloud, based on, or one of the conditions of you building your cloud was that you wanted to use open standards. So you wanted to go the open standards route, and then in this open standard route, you arrive to Virtuoso. So explain to us, like, why open standards, and then why did you choose Virtuoso? Because like there are many other players that are playing here, but you made the choice of using us to build your solution.
Of course. So, 7 years ago, we were starting to look at initially big tech providers have came up and wrote the book. They made a very complicated solution and advancements, and they have, passed by the startup logic of cloud of pioneering new solutions. The hosting industry was kind of left in the background when we had the advancements of these of Amazon and Google in the cloud solutions. In 2019, we decided it's time for us to actually look and see how we can provide a competing solution. The main focus has been that we just did not want to provide a solution that is proprietary. The reason for that was several reasons for that. First of all, I saw how AWS works, and I saw how it seems that a lot of the solutions that they provide are intended around the idea of locking the customer down in their environment. And it is against my principles to actually even think about doing something of that nature. So we built our business on open source software, and we want to make sure that we are able to allow customers the functionality and the abilities to be creative on their own way without limiting them on the resources that they can use or the applications that they can use. The other part is there is a huge community out there that is working on open source solutions, and it is important for us to contribute and benefit from this community. Obviously, if anyone has worked with OpenStack, you know it's not an easy solution. You know it is not building out the infrastructure, the hardware, the systems behind it, and integrating the commercial aspect of the model. All of that is a very complicated procedure to begin with. So we wanted to be able to focus on certain parts of the business and make sure that we have a partner that is able to manage a section of the system that we can fully trust in their ability to handle that system. So that's really when we started looking for different providers and different software developing companies. Some of them, when we tested their systems, it definitely was built partly on proprietary systems. The other parts are open source, but it definitely looked like they have not been developing the system for quite some time. Virtuozzo, and when we reached out to them, they were very active in looking at our issues with the integration of the system And we worked actively with them during our proof of concept to ensure that we have a reliable, stable, easy to manage solution. So from our perspective, we looked at the entire market. Who are the providers back then, at least in 2020? And Virtuozzo stood head and shoulders over everyone else as the right partner for us.
Okay, good. Now, now that you built your cloud, so many of the partners and end users are looking to migrate from either the hyperscalers, or they may have something on premise based on VMware, and then they, with the hike of prices of Broadcom, they want to move to the cloud, or with the outages that are happening this last few weeks on the hyperscalers as well, they are looking for an alternative, or even to adopt a multi-cloud strategy to have like not all the eggs in one bucket, but having like many buckets where they can run their applications. And one question is coming always, like, how easy is it for me to migrate to a cloud, and how can I migrate, and can you help me in this migration process? So how do you manage such type of requests to move from a, because you are building it on open standards, the others are having proprietary solutions. So we are moving from proprietary to open standard to remove that lock-in. So how do you make it possible?
So that is a great question. And I mean, we are absolutely excited to be able to work with several partners that are able to provide that kind of service to our customers, where we can provide them hot migration, where migration is seamless to the customer and the consumer. And we have cold migration, where it gives you more of a organized approach of actually migrating the systems. Despite the fact that it is not the same cloud, we have completely focused on how we can provide a solution that is comparable to the big tech solutions. We did not come over and throw everything out the window that has been developed over the past decade, but we took what is best of the systems and what is lacking, and we worked on that. So part of that is the migration. We made sure not only that we are able to seamlessly have workloads migrate to us from other cloud solutions, but also from us outside. So we don't want to end up in a situation of saying, oh yeah, you can migrate to us, but then good luck migrating out of us. That's not going to be the case. Our solution is designed around migration both ways.
Very good. Now, in this, another thing that's like the partners that are partnering with hyperscalers or the end users, they like the fact that they have a dual model. Meaning, by dual model, I want to have just a pay as you go, and then I pay for what I use. Or in some other cases, I just want like a private cloud where it's a dedicated cloud to me, and I pay for it like it's a reserved capacity. I pay for 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years, and then I get my a better TCO than anything else. So when they go to market, usually they find either or. They find either VPS type of solutions where they would go and buy VMs and then pay as you go within that VMs, or they would be finding virtual private cloud providers, but not something in the middle. Now, tell us more, like, did you build it the way to give the freedom of choice to your customers and partners, and how did you achieve it?
Absolutely. So that's a great question, and I'm excited to actually even answer that. So the beautiful thing about us not being as big as AWS or anyone for that matter from the big tech is our ability to customize a solution, our ability to adapt the solution to what the customer needs. Um, the advantage of us coming in later to the game than the big tech is we are able to review what the big tech cloud solutions are actually missing, and how we can best how can we best correct that. Our solutions provide you all of what Ahmed said. So from the perspective of whether you are looking for an exclusively to the bare metal physical cloud solution private to you, that can be provided with a long-term commit or on monthly basis. Whether you want a scalable pay-as-you-go solution where you are able to pay per hour for the workload that you're using, or you want dedicated cloud resources available for you with a hard limit on those resources, we can provide that as well. So all of the three styles of service are available through Sharktech, and that's also thanks to Virtuozzo and their platform.
Yeah, and what about like predictability of TCO? Because like some of the partners, the hyperscalers are great to use, but like to understand their invoices, you need to have a PhD. So sometimes you're just
Right.
surprised to get like a 10x what you were expecting from an invoicing perspective. So what did you do from your side to make sure that the finance managers they would be getting the amount of money they agreed to pay?
Right.
Or if I go as a pay as you go, I am capped and I cannot go more than some threshold.
Right. So those are some of the main issues that we have looked at when we were developing our cloud solution. So one is the running off bills where the technical team, for example, is just building for development or building for testing and not recognizing the financial aspect of that impact, and they're disconnect with the financial operators of the company. The other part is MSPs and how to manage multiple different projects that they are running at the same time, and how best to commercially make it viable for their company. Those are issues that we needed to look at and address, and how best to address them. The first step was to create a kind of a ceiling for packages. So, for example, our public cloud solution, which is our scalable hourly billed cloud solution, will have packages of it will have a limit on the amount of resources that you can use and them at the end. So, for example, I'm gonna just share my screen right now. So, for example, our small package, which is basically the small service type package that we have, will come with 4 CPU cores, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and 300 gig SSD tiered storage. This is included in the base package price. However, a customer can go up to 16 CPU cores, and they will be paying on the 12-hour the 12 CPU per hour overage on hourly basis. The same thing with all the other type of services as well. If you wish as a customer to upgrade from, for example, the small to medium, or the MSP need to upgrade this is something that has to be done by the financial operator of the company. So we separated the platform into two different sets of permissions. One set of permission is for the CFO of the company, if you will, something that they can look at and review the price, the bill, and review the product utilization without having to get into the technical details of it. We made sure that the bill makes sense. We looked at the rocket science degree bill that you will receive from AWS, and we limited that down. Right now, the average items that you will see on a bill is about 10 items. The main things in that is CPU per hour, memory per hour, disk storage, the 3 different types of disks that we provide, tiered storage, which are NVMe, SSD, and HDD type storage, public IPv4 addresses, and bandwidth. Those are the main items that you are going to see on your bill with us. There are There's no ambiguity in that, and it's simple enough for a financial person to be able to review this bill.
Okay, great. Now, last question before we go to the demo, and then we match the words with the reality. So we spoke
Yeah.
about many things here, but like it's easy to speak about, but we need as well to show it to our audience today. With all what's happening today on the hyperscaler side, many of the partners today are looking for a reliable provider. That means that like my data is protected. I don't rely only on one data center, but many. So how do you manage this reliability on your cloud?
Okay. So one of the main benefits of being with big tech has been the stability and the reliability of their platforms. But like everyone knows, it's impossible to have 100% uptime guarantee. This is why we have 5 nines, 6 nines, 8 nines, and we have SLAs. But the more complicated the solution that you are developing, the more variables that you're going to be adding to the equation, and that works directly tantamount to the stability and the reliability of the platform. And we're seeing that happening right now. The more complicated the solution is, the less likely, and this is basically on any kind of technical solution that we have in the world. So from our perspective, our infrastructure has been developed around complete redundancy, from the networking side to the system side, to the high availability, where basically if any physical node crashes at any given time, the workload on that system is immediately transferred to another system with zero disruption to the customer. Our storage systems are 3 times replicated to ensure redundancy and integrity of the data. And then at the end of the day, it's very important for the customer to be able to see what they have, and be able to even transfer it offsite to another location in an easy way, without having to worry about insane bandwidth bills from that. Those are important things. For example, it's crazy to look at how Amazon charges customers for outgoing bandwidth usage, when you really just need to make sure that you have offsite backup of your systems that are active. For example, on that front, Amazon charges customers over 10 times what the market standard is for bandwidth. We want to make sure our customers are also backing up their systems elsewhere. It is part of our solutions. Even if you use our Acronis backup systems, it is not keeping your backup on site. You need to make sure that your backup is also off-site as well. This is standard IT practices that we've been doing for the past 25 years. So unfortunately, it seems these days we have reached a point where we're foregoing major principles in our industry for easement. And I hope we at Sharktech are able to bring back some of those principles, and keeping some of the easements as well.
Very good. Now, time to match words with reality. So
Right.
time to show us, like I am your customer or I am your partner coming to your user portal and then doing the
Yes.
business. So stage is yours.
Okay. Pardon me, I'm gonna speak a little faster than I have already been, because I'm gonna have a lot to go through over with this. So if you you just saw our website and how you're looking at right now our pay-as-you-go cloud solution, where it is completely scalable. The enterprise package, for example, will allow you to scale infinitely. Each one of those is a service. Imagine, and that's the beauty of this. This is not a system that you're going to have to build uh, uh, to go to billing on every single virtual machine that you're going to create. This system will provide you a virtual data center environment. What this means is you're going to be able to create, for example, 60 VMs, 100 VMs, without having to go back to billing on that site. This is you are getting a pool of resources and whatever it is, scalable resources that you need, and then you're building the environment that that fits your company's needs. So from this side, and all of this is combined at the end, and it provides you a bill for all the resources that you are actually using. From this, we have two types of solutions. The one that is scalable on hourly basis, and the other one is a dedicated cloud solution. So in the dedicated cloud solution, you are going to get a hard set of CPU, of compute resources, storage. You can upgrade those through our billing platform, but through the technical platform, you cannot upgrade these resources. It is all available in all 5 of our data center service locations. And this system, both of these systems, basically the exact same technical platform, it's just different in billing structure. So if we go to our customer portal, so in our customer portal, all the billing information, so everything that has to do with the system financial records are being displayed here. So for example, let's say you are an MSP. You have several projects, several different companies that you are providing services to. You would go to our My Services, and in the My Services, you will see the different projects that you have. Each one of them, for example, is for a different client. Each one of them will have its own hourly usage billing, and you will receive a separate invoice for each one of those accounts. Your accounting person, your financial person will be able to go to the service and go and review. This is the service page, and they will be able to come in and review the hourly usage per system, per project, and be able to download a CSV where it will give them the full list of the resources that are being used on an hourly basis to do an audit if necessary. With that also, there is a graph to just show you the scale and how different resources are being used at different times. And from this, you are also going to be provided access credentials, which can be reset through our cloud portal system. This access credentials will then be provided, obviously, to the technical team at your company, and you will be provided this portal. Now, this portal has not only its own credentials, but also its own security mechanism around it, allowing MFA, allowing IP-based access control lists for API access, and allowing you to access any of our service locations. So let's log into this system and see how this one looks. So this is our cloud platform. This is where you are able to manage your cloud resources, create different systems, and manage your compute resources from here. It will show you all the virtual machines. You can create virtual machines through this system from here. It will give you options to specify the image. All of these images, for example, on our system for operating systems are updated on a weekly basis from their source to ensure we give our customer the best possible patch system. Through that as well, you will be able to select. You will be able to select the storage on the system, and as I've discussed before, we are able to provide we provide 3 different tiers of storage. So this tiers of storage, for example, you have a system that requires multiple different speeds. Let's say you have a database system. This database system needs to run on an NVMe, which provides you, up to 1.2 gigabytes a second read write with a very high IOPS. I believe it's up to 180,000 IOPS on that system with a lower latency. SSD storage will give you up to 350 megabytes a second per volume with, I believe, about 80,000 IOPS. And then you have HDD storage, which is for your long-term data storage. It will provide you up to 120 megabytes a second write, and I believe up to 5,000 IOPS. These numbers are also all available on our website. So with this, you can basically create new VMs. You can create additional storage. And from here, you are able to control the volumes as well. So from the virtual machine side, you can click on any VM, monitor its resources, monitor its utilization, check its history, and update some of its functionalities live. So any of the systems that we have, you can update the network interfaces, for example. You can change the security policies on these systems on the fly. It depends on the OS and what the OS supports. Obviously, as well, there's Kubernetes here. I apologize. I don't have that much information on that. Images. Here you can actually see all the system images that we have created and we have in the system available. Excuse me. You can add your own image. You can upload your own ISO, standard or KVM solution or KVM image. Then you can convert that image to a volume and use that as an operating system or a different kind of storage. From that as well, you can create networks. So that's a very important part of the system where it allows you to create your own private networks. Now, unlike other cloud solution providers, we do not bill you on internal VXLAN communication between the systems. This is something to allow you to keep your local communications local to your systems on the VXLAN solution. With that, you can also have a VPN site to site. This is IPsec-based tunnels, and it'll allow you to create. So let's say you have your office, and you need to have resources available only exclusively to your office. You can create an IPsec tunnel here, and that IPsec tunnel will directly communicate exclusively with your office. Same thing with router, which basically gives you similar functionalities as a standard router, allowing you to manage gateways, build up routes, and develop on that. Floating IP addresses, it's basically NAT that allows you to assign a public IP address to a virtual machine on its private IP address. So it will NAT that IP address directly to that system. This is very useful for situations when you have redundant systems or live and dev systems, and you are ready to switch over, for example, from live to dev, and you would like to do it seamlessly, so you can actually transition the assigned IP address to the other VM. Security groups, this is standard security policies and access control lists that allows you to further harden the systems that you have. Load balancers, backup plans, SSH keys, and recovery points are as they sound. That's exactly what they're supposed to do. Load balancer is based on Nginx load balancing and will provide you functionalities to develop the load balance solutions off of. All of this is combined. You know, we try to separate the technical part from the financial part to ensure, you know, we do not have those crossing over, because it creates different complications in of itself. You do not want the financial people to have access to compute resources, or if anyone in IT here, they probably are sure to know, understand the reason for this. The other thing is you can create different users and give those users different access to the project. So let's say You are an MSP, for example. You have several different projects that you are using. You want to provide one of your customers access to exclusively one of those projects. So you will create an account, you will put them as a project member, and you would specify the project that you want them to have exclusive access to. Yeah, let's say you have an engineer that is able to actually do the exact same thing. That's the exact same system that you would use. You would create a user that can have full access to the whole domain, and the domain is basically your account, your entity with Sharktech, and you can develop it from there. Was that good enough?
There is one question, Tim, on the Q&A. Michelle is asking if the GPU on the host supported on your, they call it VPS, but here it's more like virtual private cloud. So can they use GPU? Does the platform support GPU?
Yes. So we can provide GPU on a pass-through service. So what we can provide you at is we would add the GPU, and then we would pass it through exclusively to your project. This is a beautiful thing, again, about a company like Sharktech versus working with a company like Sharktech compared to the big cloud, is we are able to be creative in the kind of cloud solutions that you need. We can have a hands-on approach about these systems. For example, also, let's say you want to add an exclusive IP block to your account. You would like to have a third-party firewall in front of your cloud solution. Those are things that we can provide. So we would create your own private VLAN. We would send that VLAN exclusively to your cloud project or domain, and then we would have, let's say, for example, the firewall on top of that system. The same thing from the perspective of a GPU. We would add the GPU to our cloud, and then we would assign it exclusively to your project. One more thing to add. So the other beautiful thing about us working with OpenStack-based solution is we are able to provide you OpenStack-based API access to the platform. This will allow you to have all the systems, all that we shared, we reviewed here, access to that through our API. But even that, we did not feel comfortable to directly provide this access straight out to everyone. So what we created is we created this system. The system will allow you to specify the IP addresses that you will be able to use to access your system through API. So as an extra layer of protection to ensure your systems are as protected as possible from our side. Because obviously you cannot do MFA on API access calls. So similarly, let's say we were talking about a private cloud solution. Let's say a customer comes over to us and approaches us that they want exclusive a cloud setup for them. They do not want to take care. They don't want to talk about billing. They don't want to deal with the hourly basis, and they want a competitive rate that they are able to actually have planned for a year. We can develop a cloud solution, a private cloud solution, where all the physical hardware for your system in basically one rack or multiple racks, and develop the cloud solution exclusively to you on these systems. So for example, let's say you have a customer that needs high resources, but they are unable to unable to put it, for example, on-prem. They will provide us with how many CPU cores, how much RAM they are looking for, and the storage, the type of storage that they're looking for, and we are able to develop a whole cloud solution able to exclusively for them in one of our data centers, or even develop it and send it over to be used on-prem.
There is one more question in the Q&A section. What OS does the bare metal run, Virtuozzo Linux 9?
The OS on those systems are all based on Virtuozzo. So the operating system, the orchestration of the cloud, all of that is developed by Virtuozzo. So Tatiana, like I said before, it's concerning when we are trying to look at this from a cloud service provider, having to develop our own solution and having to develop our own infrastructure setup and having to develop the own commercial system on for the cloud. We are proud to be using Virtuozzo to manage the OpenStack, the orchestration of our cloud solution for us.
Yep, thanks.
This system is developed around WHMCS. I'm sure many here know what WHMCS is, but it is heavily modified and it's heavily it's been heavily being changed over the years to be more Sharktech based.
So guys, are there any questions? So drop the questions in the chat or in the Q&A section. Okay, we have one more, Tim.
Yeah, and as well, one comment from my side is one of the beauty of hyperscalers is ease of use, and what Tim and the team are delivering here. It's not only giving you an access to a VM and then you go and you use your VM. It's a complete user experience. So your user experience as a partner or end user, you come to the portal. There is a segregation between administration, operations, and technical folks. So technical folks are going to the Virtuozzo Hybrid Infrastructure Self-Service Portal where it is like 100% white labelable. As you saw Sharktech logo, you saw Sharktech colors, and then
right, and that's something we
yeah.
can definitely alter for MSPs, and we can change that display.
Yeah. So if you are an MSP reselling the cloud, then you can have your own self-service portal with your own logo, etc., etc.
And for what it's worth, if a customer is interested in even changing this portal completely, they can do that because the whole system is API based.
Sure, I can, Martin. I saw your comment in the chat. So from a roadmap perspective, what we are doing now, what we are working on actively is we are working on consolidating our solutions in the same user experience. Today, we do have two main solutions that are infrastructure as a service and platform as a service, and we want to unify both of them under the same user experience. So this is the roadmap for us for the next year, in order to give you a better user experience, one solution that can cater for all the use cases, from providing VPS to providing platform as a service, DevOps, to your partners or customers. This is and of course stability. So stability is one of the main topics as well for the next year. So our solution is stable, and we will be making sure that it is more and more stable and fixing all the bugs and doing more automation into quality assurance. So this is what will happen mainly in 2026. It's this consolidation under one umbrella of solution with one user experience that is great, built for service providers, and providing you one solution to get from VPS to DevOps as a service. So this is where our efforts in Virtuozzo are going now.
And for what it's worth, I mean, for the past 2 years, where we've actually had the systems ongoing, we haven't had any major service disruption for our customers, and that's huge. During those 2 years, we had to move one of our data centers completely, the physical layer, from one data center to the other. And we were able to successfully move it without causing service disruption to our customers. This is generally unheard of from our type of systems, to be able to provide a solution to your customers that you are literally able to move physical data center. It was about 50 miles away without causing a service disruption to the customer. This was done because of the innate redundant system that Virtuozzo developed, especially from the storage perspective, and how it worked, that allowed us to do such a massive migration, which we haven't done in over 10 years, without causing any service disruption to the customer. I take that back. There was about 60-second disruption for BGP, but that is not on the cloud systems.
There is one other question in the chat, Tim. Can you touch more on the options available for MFA, SAMI, OIDC for the portal access?
So the billing system also has an MFA. So when you're logging into our excuse me, our billing platform will allow you to have multi-user, and will allow you to have MFA, 2FA set up on this account. This has a whole different authentication system, completely exclusive from our cloud platform. You will be provided, when you register the account, the initial username and password for your cloud solution, but then after that, this is completely separated. So when you log in the first time to your cloud platform, the virtual data center environment, the VHI, you are able to directly change your access credentials, and you are able to also add MFA there as well. So the MFA and the authentication for our cloud platform is completely separate from our billing platform. At that point, once you have reset your password, you have enabled MFA on the system, then they are completely independent of each other. And the only information that is being transferred is regarding the usage and the ability to the billing system to change the package tier that you have. So for example, if billing decided, okay, we can no longer have 32, we can no longer have the enterprise package because our engineers are overusing the resources, but we want to have it down to large, they can do that, and this will change directly to the cloud platform. Francesco, so this is an effort on both sides. So the Virtuozzo system is the system that you are looking at here. This is the actual software that orchestrates all the hardware resources. So you as a, for example, if anyone else is looking at developing their own solutions of this side, the Virtuozzo system will be the orchestrating software that manages all the compute, storage resources, and provide you this environment. After that, there are modules available to integrate this system with your billing platform of choice, for example, WHMCS, and allow you to, create a unique kind of experience that is unique for your company. This is the path Sharktech took. We have a little bit more of an advanced solution on this than others, but you know, it's all up to the creativity of your system, of your team. And Ahmed said initially that this is what I built. This is definitely not something I built. It's the entire team at Sharktech, and they have been amazing at providing such a stable solution.
Yeah. It's a great user experience. On a separate note, yes, like Virtuozzo as well has a CMP. It has less features than what the team has already developed. That comes like with the software, so we can, if we want to have like a one-to-one call about it, let us know, Francesco. We can show you like that what we have internally, but it's like not on par with the features that the team built here for Sharktech Cloud. Okay, if we don't
the team at Sharktech did, not Tim.
Yeah, the team and his team, or the team of Sharktech.
Yeah. That's great. The team at Sharktech. Yeah.
Okay, good. So if we don't have any more questions, there is nothing left more than saying thank you for joining. Thanks, Tim, for all the insights and
absolutely my pleasure. And if any other hosting providers are out there on this call, look, the industry is changing. Customers are looking for a better user experience. You have the technical know-how, that this technical know-how is becoming less and less available. Trying to build everything ourselves is really hard. And you know that more than anyone else. And I think partnering up with companies like Virtuozzo to provide us a platform, to provide us to take some of the work off our back on this, so we can actually provide a great solution, is a great idea. We need more cloud service providers out there, because together we can work and actually put in a better front competition against the big tech providers.
Very good. Thank you, Tim. Thanks, Tatiana. And
My pleasure.
Thanks everyone for joining. I wish you a lovely evening, night, morning, end of the day to everyone. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.